What's going on, guys? Today I'm doing a story time. Yay, story time! Everyone likes story time. People tell me more story time videos, make more. Well, I've only lived so long. I only have so many stories. Although I do have a bunch. For me, it's a mood thing. I want to be in the mood to tell a story. More times than not, I'll be telling a story to someone else, and it'll be in my head, and now that I'm thinking of it, I'll turn the camera on, and that's when I do storytime videos. Because it's important to me to get all the details in a story and just give you the full picture of it, And I'm not always in the mood to do that. Now, today's storytime video, I am in the mood to talk about just because I've been dealing with someone recently. And the whole theme here is viewers that just rub me the wrong way. Viewers that are selfish, greedy, they have expectations of me for whatever reason, I don't even know. But they're just not good people. And the best way to really think about this is the real life, right? Your real life, you don't like everyone you meet. Maybe you like a lot of people. Maybe you're one of those people that just dislike most people and only like a couple people. But the internet is just the virtual version of the real world. And the internet's chock full of a-holes. It's chock full of really nice people. And I will say this, before I really get into this video, I've met thousands and thousands of amazing people. I truly mean that. Some are just a quick conversation, and people are so appreciative and so nice and so generous. I can't even begin, well, I can begin to tell you because you've seen the videos. People are extremely generous to me in all different ways. And I try to give that back all the time. And that's why I think I was a little bit more of a pushover years and years ago, and we'll get into that more in the story. But the point I want to make here is that for every jerk that I deal with online, I deal with 1,000 awesome people. All right, so I'm not here just, complaining to everyone, oh, boo-hoo, I don't like these people. No, I'm just telling a story. I'm keeping it real. This is my experience, and I'm just sharing it with you. And here's another thing, too, with the storytime videos, is people want more of them more often and stuff, but I do have certain stories I'm kind of saving for certain times. But these are all real, genuine stories. These are things that actually happen to me. I'm not just making them up. I could make stories up every single day, but you'd be able to tell the difference between a fictitious story and a real story. And although some people find my real life experiences to be pretty funny, sometimes sad, sometimes scary, and there's all kinds of emotions, I do have plenty of other stories that are more somber and sad and stuff, and that's not really that entertaining. I don't, maybe I'll share a couple. But I don't know, I don't personally want to turn on a camera or turn on a video and watch someone tell a sad story and just feel bummed out all day. And this one I kind of had reservations of doing because I don't really want to make a video complaining either. And that's what this is. It's a big, long video of me complaining about people. Who really wants to hear that? Well, we'll find out if you keep watching. Maybe you're just curious. So yeah, this video is pretty negative, but you have to take it for what it's worth. This is just my experience that I'm sharing with you. So, over the years, I've been over on YouTube over 10 years, and I've dealt with thousands of people. And every now and again, I deal with someone that is just a jerk. I've dealt with so many different things. Here's a great example. Many years ago, people used to send me knives all the time, just randomly. And there'll be like, I'll open a box, there'll be a knife and a letter, say, hey, I need you to sharpen this up and send it to this address when you're done. What? Did I ever make a video just asking people to send me their stuff for free sharpening? I've done it. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that there's at least 20 or 30 people since I've been on YouTube who randomly sent me knives to sharpen. They're like, oh, this guy sharpens knives. He likes knives. I guess he could do this. I don't know what they're even thinking. But every single time I did that, I did it as a courtesy. And this is me trying to pay it forward. People, they give me stuff all the time. They do things really, really nice for me. I get great messages and stuff. So I figured, all right, you know what? Yeah, all right, fine. I won't complain about it. But it just kept happening and happening over the years. And eventually I had to tell people, like, look, I can't just do this. I don't have the time to do it. Even if I had the time to do it, it always cost me money. All those times that someone sent me a knife, no one sent money with the knife. It was just the knife and a letter. Sharpen it, like, do this, like, very demanding. What? Why? Why would you think that you would just do that? Can I just randomly, send a broken TV to some TV repair guy and say, hey, look, need you to fix that? Get it all to me when you're done. No, it doesn't work like that. I think, generally speaking, they are younger people, but I know for a fact that a couple cases there, they are adults, totally normal adults, functioning adults, I assume, that just had this strange expectation that I just sharpen knives for free and then use my own money to send them back to people. So that's one minor thing, a little bit of a gripe, I guess you could say, that's happened over the years. It doesn't happen as much these days. I think, you know, years ago I mentioned it in videos like, hey, please don't send me knives to sharpen. Like, contact me first. I have no problem helping people out. I've helped out a lot of people over the years, sharpening, fixing knives that are broken, reassembling knives and other things. So many people send me boxes of knife parts. Literally. And sometimes I don't even have a note. I must have had at least 2 or 3 knives over the years. It was just literally a knife taken apart, no note, no return address. Just, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? I have no idea. And like, I would kill myself trying to find a message and look through all the messages, thousands of messages, and figure out who this stuff is. You know, I want to get it back to the rightful owner. I want to know what they wanted me to do. So that happens all the time. People send me stuff with no notes, and I really have no idea what to do. Sometimes people will just rub me the wrong way in the comments. I mean, obviously, when you're making videos on YouTube, you're opening yourself up to criticism, and I get that. I've been there, done that. 10 plus years, I've been called everything in the book. People have criticized pretty much every comment I've ever made. You know, just some people have bad days, and they just want to go make someone else's day bad. You know, what do they say? Misery loves company, right? It's so true, especially online, especially when you're a faceless person behind a keyboard. It's very easy to let your frustrations out on strangers. And don't forget, too, we are on the internet. And you know who else is on the internet? Every walk of life. There are rapists on the internet. There are murderers, you know, psychopaths. I mean, you name it. They are on YouTube, too. Why wouldn't they be? You know, there's no filter for just nice people. It's not nice unicorn rainbow land, you know, where everyone's happy. No, this is just the real world, only it's a little uglier in, you know, cyberspace because there's that anonymous factor. You know, people are a little bit uglier online than they are in real person because when you're mean to someone in person, you might have some repercussions to deal with, you know. But when you're behind a keyboard and you're talking to someone, you know, halfway across the globe, sometimes you act a little bit bolder. And I deal with that too, all the time. As far as like negative comments, it's okay, it's fine. I used to have, I guess, thinner skin, and someone would say something like dumb, and I would feel necessary to respond to them and you know, and try to be funny with my comments. And of course, a lot of you guys like me, so you'd back me, and I'd feel good about it. Oh yeah, cool, you know, go team. But that's not cool either. It doesn't serve any purpose. What, to make me feel better? It doesn't matter. The person who wrote the negative comment doesn't write something bad, and then I write something back to them and they apologize. That doesn't happen. I'll tell you what does happen, though. Occasionally someone writes something pretty crappy, and I won't respond, or I'll respond pretty neutrally, and then I'll get a message and with an apology. That's happened before, where someone said, hey, look, you know, I was having a really bad day. My girlfriend broke up with me. I lost my job. I was drunk. You know, sorry I said that. And like, that shocks me. These are real human beings they're actually nice people, and they had a bad moment and they felt bad about it enough to actually respond to me and apologize. So that does happen. That's kind of cool. But most times people just write something crappy and negative, and that's it. And then of course there's the comment wars, which that'll never end, you know, especially on the internet. You know, it's funny, you would never see that in real life. It would never be like, I don't know, you're at the grocery store and someone's picking up a banana off the shelf, and you walk by and you say, bananas suck. And they go, what? Your mom? And then you have this verbal war, and someone else comes out from the cereal aisle and says, yeah, bananas suck. Yeah, a thumbs up to that guy who said that. And then, you know, that doesn't happen. You know, people are somewhat fake online. They would never. And here's another thing too I found, is that the people who are the most boisterous online, the people writing those negative comments, and the people who are, you know, big bad tough guys, those are usually the weakest minded people in real life. That's how they kind of get back at society. That, you know, they don't have control in their life. They don't like their job. They don't like who they're with, their partner or whatever. Maybe they don't like their kids. I don't know. I have no idea what. But they're getting their frustration out on other people that they can't do in real life. You know what I mean? There's every personality you can think of online, and people forget that sometimes. Another thing too is the age gap. You know, where else in society do we sit in a room and, you know, a 70-year-old guy talks to a 9-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy and this 45-year-old guy and this 90-year-old woman? When you group so many different people, different backgrounds, different cultures, different languages, different ages, different sexes, of course you're going to have friction. You're going to have people that don't understand other people. They don't understand your way of life. They don't understand the way you think because they're complete opposites. They might as well be on a different planet. So that's why confrontation in YouTube comments on videos, because of the diversity. It couldn't possibly be more diverse. It's every single type of person on the planet. So long story short, bad comments I tend to don't care about anymore. You know, hey, your mom's fat. All right, whatever, dude. If it makes you feel better to say that, go ahead. You know, sometimes I'll respond with something funny just to be fun or just to be lighthearted and say, hey, man, you know, what you're saying is not impacting anyone. It's just you trying to be funny. That's the other thing, too, is a lot of people say negative stuff, not really to be mean, but they want to be cool. Sorry. You're not really going to be cool if everyone gives you a thumbs up on your negative YouTube comment, you know. Hey, your mom's fat. 10 thumbs ups. Wow, I'm awesome. That doesn't work either. All right. Those are people, again, that are lacking in real life. They don't have nothing. They're not achieving anything in person. So they have to go on the internet world and be, you know, Billy Badass on there. So that happens. I get that. So YouTube comments, yeah, it's whatever. Everyone kind of knows the deal with that. I want to get more into some specifics. Now, there's two different stories I'm going to tell, two different situations. One situation is, it's a little less the other person's fault than the other story. And obviously I'm not going to give names, I'm not going to give screen names or information or anything like that, just to respect these people. Even though I feel like they're both wrong, I'm still going to be that guy to not just out them straight out like that. I'm going to be a little vague on these stories too, just, again, not to call them out specifically in case there's other people involved, but just examples of things that I deal with occasionally. The first one, this is something that happened over the course of a year, more than a year. So how it starts is I get a message from, I get a knife in the mail. I get a knife in the mail, brand new, from a company. No idea what it's for. It's a folding knife, I'll say that much. So that's it, just open it. Okay, put it aside, waiting for messages. Now, I literally spent maybe like an hour or 2 hours trying to find out who sent this to me, why they sent it to me, what do they expect? It's just one of those things again. Oh, what is this? And it's not like, it wouldn't seem like a big hassle, but it is because I care. You know, if I didn't care, it's like, oh, okay, free knife and do what I want with it. No, I want to know why I got it, what people are expecting of me. So, and that's another thing too, is shipping. Before I get into these other stories, I'm getting sidetracked here, but shipping. And this has to do with this story particularly, but so many people will send me things that live in other countries because they want to, like, let's say they want, I don't know, a Spyderco Endura, but they live in India and they don't have them there. So they buy one in America, they send it to me, it shows up at my door, there it is, what is this for? And I'll get a message. Hey, look, I sent you a Spyderco Endura, go ahead and ship that off to me in India. I don't have them here, so I figured you'd ship it to me. Why? Why would you figure I would do that? You know? Sometimes I've done that. I say, okay, fine, just because it's like, even though it's a huge hassle and it costs me a lot of money. I spend thousands of dollars a year in shipping, doing trades, you know, just literally just sending people things all the time. So it's a lot of money, especially because when I do international shipping, I always do USPS priority, international priority, because I've never had a problem with it. It is more expensive, and most countries are anywhere from like $25 all the way up to $75, I think I paid once. Depends on how heavy the box is, how big it is, all that. But yeah, it is very costly. On average, 40 or 50 bucks. So that happens a lot, where people will be like, oh, well, you know, I can't have this knife here. Why am I sending it to you? You can't have it, you can't have it, period. Okay, that should be flat out not an option. But just people expect it all the time. And sometimes people go, oh, I have shipping money, and then what I end up doing is I'll just tell them, look, I got to return it. I'll send it back to the company that sent it. Maybe they'll refund your money. You deal with that stuff. Sometimes I ship it to them. Sometimes I bring it back to the company. Sometimes I'll send them money. That's happened before too, where like I didn't know what to do, so I was like kind of forced to buy it. I literally just kept the item, which was usually a knife. I think one time it was like a random flashlight, but most times it's knives. I just kept the knife and I had to pay him for it. You know, I had to give him the money that he spent to buy it. So that's random. I will say that although I have some female viewers, I've never had a problem with a female viewer. It's always guys, and it's usually guys between like 15 and 25. Rarely do I have a problem with older gentlemen, as far as like, you know, dealing with them and stuff like that. So sometimes there's like an immaturity factor there. That's part of the other story I'm going to tell. So anyway, back to the first story here. Knife arrived in the mail randomly. About a week or so later, I got the message explaining why I have this knife. So apparently what happened was this person who lives in a land far, far away, they entered into a knife giveaway contest. They won, but when they gave the address of where to ship it, the company who was holding the giveaway said, oh, sorry, we're only shipping this in the U.S. It's a U.S. contest. Now, in their defense, they didn't state that in the rules of the giveaway, so they didn't really know. But where they went wrong, at least where I feel they went wrong, was they gave my address because they had to give an address, right? What I think he should have done is he should have just said, okay, thanks anyway, give it to someone else. But no, they wanted the knife, so they gave them my address. So this arrives in the mail, I put it aside, some time goes by, I get the message. Now when I first got the message, I get so many messages. I think I scanned over it real quick and I got the explanation and I said, all right, fine, whatever, just give me some shipping money. I think it was 10 or 15 bucks. I'll ship it to you, whatever. But when I said that, I just made the assumption that they lived in the US. I didn't know that they were in a land far, far away. So they gave me money in PayPal. I think it was $15, something like that, $10, $15. And I wrote a message back trying to get an address. An amount of time went by, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks or something. I'm like, what's going on with this thing? So eventually I got their address and it was for a different country. So the shipping money is not going to cover it. Try to go back and forth the messages. There was miscommunication there. I didn't get the messages. If they were sending it, I was going to a different folder. YouTube was totally screwed up at the time as well, you know, with the message system. Eventually I gave it to someone. The knife, I still had it. I ended up just giving it to someone. I was doing a trade. I just threw it in, not as part of the trade, but just as a bonus. It was a total surprise. The person who got it didn't even know they were going to get it. And then like a couple months went by. I was expecting to get a message from the original person asking, you know, where it is. And I was going to say, all right, well, I'll give you your money back, your 15 bucks. Sorry, I gave the knife away because it was way too complicated. So, I mean, I didn't ask for any of this. That's my biggest issue here is they put me in a situation where I'm feeling like a jerk, you know, but I have no way to get the information I need to ship it to them. And I have a lot of people doing this all the time. So it's just kind of difficult to keep track of things. So long story short, a couple months go by and I get the message from them. Oh, hey, what's going on? I never got the knife. Where is it? I gave it away. I said, give me your information and I'll send your money back you sent me for shipping. Then it becomes like a whole thing, a whole complaint. But at the end of the day, I feel like a jerk now. Now I feel bad. Okay, maybe I made the wrong decision by giving it away, but I couldn't figure out where it was going to go. And you know, at the time I couldn't afford to ship it there. And so now this guy's giving me like this whole breakdown of like how much of a a-hole I am. So now I'm getting frustrated at the person. I said, just give me information. I'll give you the money. Let's be over with it. It's done with, you know. Then it becomes an argument. Then it's like, okay, well, you should have done this. And I told them, I said, you know, I didn't ask for any of this, okay? Why did you feel it was okay to just randomly give my address to someone? For any reason, period. So I felt like I was right. And I was getting defensive now because they were being defensive. So we're fighting, and this is like one fighting message every week or something. And this goes on. Then there's like a 2 or 3 month gap. And like I said, this is like a year ago. So this all flared up like herpes. It came back nice and strong about, I don't know, a month ago or so. Same old argument. Hey, you shouldn't have done that. They go, hey, well, it doesn't matter. You know, they're trying to explain, well, I didn't know the rules. And I was trying to tell them, you should have just said, no, thank you. That's it. Don't give them a stranger's address because that's what I am to you. I'm a stranger. Why would you assume I was going to do this? It doesn't matter if you're paying for it or not. Okay, don't make those assumptions. You were wrong. But they didn't want to hear that. Clearly, I was wrong in their mind. So to this day right now, I'm still dealing with it. They still haven't given me the information so I can send their money back. That's all I want to do, is I want to give them their money back because that's the right thing to do. I did accept their money, but how I see it is it was never their knife. They didn't legitimately win that contest. They chose to send it to me without any information. So you guys, I mean, you could tell me what you think, but I don't think I'm fully right for what I did. I do think that I should not have just given it to someone. If I still had it now, maybe I can get the rest of the shipping money and send it to them. But it's so frustrating sometimes dealing with people. So at the end of the day, this guy made this decision to send me this knife he won, which he shouldn't have had, and I feel like a jerk. I do. I feel bad. I shouldn't, but for some reason I do. So that's example number 1. And things like this happen all the time. Example number 2. This was through Instagram. And this started like a month ago or so. I'm going to be, again, because this is something that's still ongoing, I'm going to be a little vague, but basically someone contacted me. Hey, I'm interested in this knife you have. I'd like to trade. And I said, all right, cool. And we're working out a trade. They offered another knife to me, which I really wanted. And I said, all right, I really, really want that knife. We'll work this out. And I'm trying to tell them different knives that I have to trade. I'm looking around. I thought it was a bear, some turkey walking down the street. And I really, really wanted to work out this trade. It's a pretty interesting design that I really wanted to review that I have not had yet. So I was excited about it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to hook you up. I'll give you what you want. I'll find something for this knife. We went back and forth like 2 or 3 messages. And when I was offering, they're like, well, I'm not really into that. And out of the blue, they're like, well, I'll just buy you the knife. And I'm like, no, please, you really don't have to do that. Like, seriously, when people just outright offer things like that, I feel a little uncomfortable because I don't deserve anything, People say, oh, it's to give back for the videos. You don't have to give back for the videos. I really, really appreciate you guys watching, and I can't tell you how awesome it is when people send me things, but I'm not doing this for gifts, I'm just doing this to help people. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this to share my hobbies and my interests, and the most joy I get out of this is so many people send messages all the time and they tell me, hey, I'm into knives now. I love knives because of you. And I think that's awesome. It's keeping the hobby alive. Not me solely, but it's definitely helping. That is the coolest thing about this entire experience on YouTube. I'm not doing this to get gifts. But he insists. He's like, no, it's cool. He's like, which one you want? I said, you really, really don't have to do this. No, I want to do this. I said, okay, that's really nice of you. And I told him which one I was looking for. He said, I'll order it. Okay, no big deal. Then he sends me, I think later in that day, a screen cap of the order, with my address on there. I'm like, dude, that was so nice. You really don't have to do that. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you some stuff. I'm going to send you some stuff anyway. Because we were supposed to work out a trade for this, but I feel bad because this knife is like a $300 knife. And I'm like, I can't just accept the gift like that. I will still send you what I was offering, for a trade, which was the same value. So he's like, oh, okay, it's really cool. And so then what happened was I listed something for sale. He bought that. And I ended up putting those extra knives in that package. Sent it off to him. So like a week goes by. And I'm like, oh, I just want to make sure you got your package and everything. Oh, yeah, I got it and everything. I said, all right, cool. Do you have a tracking number? Because I should have gotten that order by now. Well, this is where things get a little bit fuzzy. He tells me, well, it got lost. It got lost in the mail. I said, oh, it got lost. Like, do you have the tracking number? No, I don't have the tracking number on me. And he never gave me a tracking number for it. I don't believe there ever was an order. I believe that he just photoshopped the order page. I don't think that he was doing it on purpose in the beginning, but things started getting really fishy because then it was like, well, if the order was lost, then you'll be reimbursed. And he said, well, I don't know if they're going to give me the money back. I'm like, it's just red flags all over the place. I'm like, what's going on here? Now, half of me doesn't really care because this was just a gift offer, but the other, wait a minute, I gave you extra knives that are valuable because of that nice thing you did for me, and it didn't happen. So I'm kind of like on the fence, like, I'll just let it go, but it's kind of bothering me that I feel like he's lying to me, and I know I really feel like he's lying. I shouldn't say I know because I don't really know, and it's still, we're working out, we'll see. But I'm like, this dude's lying to me. And then I get I did get reimbursed. The Postal Service, gave me the money for it. And I'm like, I work with the mail for over a decade. If you have a package lost and you're the recipient of that package, nothing happens to you. They don't. The post office doesn't give you any money. That just doesn't happen. So that was an outright lie. What happens is if there was insurance on the package, the sender has to file a claim. It's a process. The post office wouldn't just call you up and say, "Yeah, here's your money back for the package." They deal with the shipper, not the sender, or excuse me, not the receiver, the sender. So things are just going downhill. Then it becomes, well, because things didn't work out, I'll just send you mine. Because originally I was going to trade for the one he has, you know. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. You could do that. A couple days go by, no word. Hey, what's going on? Did you send it out yet? Oh no, I was busy. All right, no problem. I'm cool with it. You know, because now at this point it's a trade again. It's not a gift. I gave him knives as a thank you for this knife. A couple days go by, kind of avoiding me a little bit. Hey, what's going on? Eventually, it's like, I was going to ship it today, but I have this horrible problem and I need surgery. Okay, things happen. I'm not, it's still very fishy. Stinks like fish, but things do happen. People get sick. Could be bad timing. Could just be bad luck. So then, all right, cool. Day or two goes by, and I asked him genuinely, like, hey, you're right, everything cool? He's like, oh yeah, I got the surgery, it's fine, I'm real sore, so it's gonna be a while before I can get to the post office to ship it. No problem. A couple more days, messages. Eventually, after like 2 weeks of this, or 3 weeks, I'm like, are you lying to me? It was really bugging me. Like, it was, when the computer shuts off, I try to live my life. Like, I have the internet, I do the YouTube thing, and then I shut off and I try to do my life stuff. Spend time with my wife, talk to my family, hang out with Gus. I have to cook, clean, crap, sleep, all that stuff, right? Usually when things happen on YouTube, I leave it on YouTube. When I'm not on the computer, I put that to the side. But for some reason, this was stuck in my head. Like literally throughout the days, I'm thinking like, this guy's lying to me. So it's bothering me. So I outright, hey, are you lying to me? Oh no, I'm not trying to avoid you. It's just more excuses. It's excuse after excuse after excuse, and things don't line up. Things don't sound right. It is super sketchy, and I just know he's lying to me. To this day, it's been like, it's got to have been a month by now, and it just basically was left at, hey, you know what? You're sick. You're recovering. That's cool. Then, I'm sorry. After that, it became, well, because of my medical bills, I can't afford to ship the knife. It costs $7, I think $7.05 to ship a priority box anywhere in the U.S. This person's in the U.S. So I said, all right, well, when you can scrounge up $7, go ahead and ship that. Just let me know. And that's basically how it was left. I really don't think I will ever see that knife. So... Yeah, I deal with this stuff on occasion, and at this point, like, again, I feel like a jerk. This person offered something nice. I said, no, thank you. They insisted. Then I said, okay, and then they lied to me and never happened, which is like, it's kind of whatever, but it bothered me they lied to me. And then, when I asked them if they're lying, I was kind of being aggressive about it, like, so I feel bad for... If they really did have a medical problem and an emergency, which I'm still fuzzy if that's true or not, but if they did that, I feel bad for getting on their case. It's just a knife. I mean, your health becomes before anything, obviously. But like, because I think they're lying, I kind of, I don't know. The whole thing is a cluster bomb, what I want to say, and I can't say because might be kids watching and listening. It's messed up. It's messed up, and I feel like a jerk. And I'll probably never see that knife, and it's just whatever. I just gave away a couple extra knives for nothing. So, like, things, when you're dealing with people, things do get complicated. Things get very, very frustrating sometimes. And at the end of the day, it's just, I always feel bad. Someone's mean to me or does something wrong to me, or like I said, just assumes I'm going to do this or do that. And when it doesn't work out, I always feel bad. I never think like, oh, screw that guy. I might say that, like, oh, screw that guy. And 2 minutes later, I'm like, I feel bad. You know what I mean? So, in both situations, I feel like I'm right, but I feel bad. So, every now and again, something like this happens. I don't know if either one of these situations will get resolved. Might just, that's the end of it. I don't know. The Instagram thing's different because I can still contact them. The first example I gave, that was YouTube message system. That's how we were communicating, and there's not gonna be any messages on YouTube anymore, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. So there you go. There's two different stories that are currently happening to me. I have dozens more of things that have happened. But generally, it's just, I don't know, I'm just getting it off my chest. It's just frustrating sometimes dealing with people, and you know, I don't mind helping people. I love helping people. That's why I'm here. That's why I make videos, to help people. But some people are just jerks, you know, and you have to deal with them. All walks of life. I would chalk it up to, most of the time, it's immaturity. Doesn't mean it's a 15-year-old. Sometimes it is an older guy that's just immature. But yeah, I got to deal with a lot of crap. But it's still this much crap, this much amazing communication. So many good people, a couple little jerks. So I deal with it. It's just part of it. It's just like life. It's no different. You know, like I said, YouTube is just the virtual life. You know, you go out about your daily business. Most days are fine. Some days you have a problem with people. Sometimes people do things that are wrong and you argue. That's just life. So why would the internet be any different, right? So there you go. There's a new Storytime video. Sorry, it's kind of on a negative side, but it's something that I'm just dealing with and thinking about. And that's why I wanted to turn the camera on and talk to you. You know, I'm not always right. I don't always make the right decisions. I'm not perfect. I don't know where anyone read online that, hey, that CUTLERYLOVER guy, he's perfect. He'll hook you up no matter what. I try very, very hard. I bend over backwards all the time to help people because people do it for me. And every now and then I do mess up, you know. So there you go. There's two examples as to why I'm currently frustrated with some viewers. But overall, you guys, it's like, oh, this much of you are awesome. And then every now and again, there's a jerk. And what upsets me, and actually does upset me, is when someone's not happy with something that I'm doing or talking about, who's watched for a long time. You know, someone comes in like a total stranger and they act like a jerk and they leave. That's whatever. But someone's like, hey, I've been watching you for 4 or 5 years, and we get into an argument over something. It really bothers me. It really does, because I feel like we're friends. Even though I don't know them, they know me. You know, and they've watched, you know, a lot of videos, and they feel like they know me. So I feel like we're friends, you know. That hurts me. It feels like a real friendship to me. You know, it's just like if you had a friend at school or something and you got into a fight, you know, it bothers me. I want to mend the problems, you know. I don't want to just say, you know, brush it off and be like, oh, who cares? It's a nobody. It's some stranger. It's not like that. I mean, that's the easy thing to do, is like, yeah, it's a stranger. Click. Don't have to deal with you anymore. But I don't want to do that. You know, I want to work things out. I want people to be happy. And it's not just like deals and trades and stuff like that. I would say 99.999% of trades I've ever done have gone flawlessly. But every now and then, you know, there's a bump in the road. It's just, what bothers me is being lied to. That's it. I don't like being lied to, and I don't like someone pointing their finger at me because of what they did. That's what bothers me. So in the first situation, it's like, this whole mess is because of you. Maybe I messed up along the way, but it's because you initiated it. In the second situation, it's just like, you wanted to be nice. I said okay, even though I didn't really want it. And at the end of the day, I was the one being nice, and I'm not getting it back. Frustrating. Very frustrating sometimes. But overall, I love you guys. You're pretty cool. I would say 1 out of every 10,000 people I deal with being a jerk, those are pretty good odds. So yeah, I'll leave this video on a positive note. You guys as a whole are amazing, but it's just like people. You know, the only difference though is that with YouTube and with like my channel specifically, because we're mostly into the same stuff, we get along a lot better. In society, I would say you probably dislike more than one person out of every 1,000 or 10,000. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Storytime video. I didn't put any bug spray on, so my legs have been the buffet for the mosquitoes for the last like half an hour or whatever. And I'm pretty itchy. So I'm going to go inside, itch myself, and call it a night. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have an amazing night, amazing day, wherever you happen to be when you're watching this. And thank you. Truly, thank you for watching. See you guys soon.